Hey, what is up you guys, the name is Sub-Zero Exabyte. Like always I am coming right back at you, swinging from this little place here in Minecraft world. So I decided to come here to my Minecraft world and have some off time to relax a little bit, starting off with the new summer days arriving. So as you saw, I really did not plan on coming back here for a while, so I basically have nothing in my chests and I will need to gather some stuff to make sure that I do not starve in this world, because that would be a very bad thing to happen. But we are with this noob right now. Maybe that noob took some stuff with him the other day. If I find that kid, I am going to give it to him. You have no idea. This is all probably going to be really easy. I mean, come on, give me a break, man. I need this win right now. My god, why does this always happen to me? I cannot get over this right now. So we are going to start out with an idea. I want to build a treehouse chip, and I want it to be huge, which is my home ground. At least that is what I see myself as right now. So that is really good for me. So let's start by making some actual shelter. I will start the base for you guys and then you can move on and do the rest, but make sure that you do it properly, because I will not be watching you do this the whole time. Alright Chip, I am building the base structure for you and you can just build up on that thing right here. Do you guys have any skills that you could be of use with, without anyone near that would be able to see me or anything? Because this is pretty much one of my weakest moments, and I would rather not have it that anyone would be able to see that, because I feel like I am not some weak dude hanging out at Minecraft. But of course right now you guys will know that I actually am, which feels pretty bad. But like I said, or as I will say now, I do not have any secrets for you guys. So I think that this thing will pretty much protect me from anyone who is in here, even this noob. I mean, I really want to win this challenge because I feel like I could easily beat this noob, and that is pretty much it. I will just roll with it right now and try and do my best, because come on, if I can make this huge tree house with a mechanical entrance, well, come on people, who will be able to find that? There is just no way that anyone will find out that I am here. And otherwise, well, I actually have no idea what I will do then, because this is basically my last resort right now. I am literally on my last straw, since I am looking like a fool trying to do all of this stuff with redstone, because well, I am basically a gigantic treehouse noob and I do not like it when you guys or someone else will be able to see me as a noob. Alright, so guys, please forgive me right now for what I am doing with this redstone, because I literally have no idea what I am doing right now. This is just some on the fly thinking right here, because I literally have no idea how to use all of this. So just beware of that right now. So if you have any sort of tips and tricks for me, well, it will always be welcome, of course. But right now I do not really have enough time to go look for some tutorials, because I will really need to make sure that no one is better than me here, because I usually get intimidated pretty quick and I am like a turtle. I will need a shell so that I can hide in there, and right now I do not have a shell, so this is basically my shell right now. I will have to make sure that I can get through this, otherwise I will not have my shell for whenever more people show up, and then well, that means that it is time to panic for me. It was like when you make a move in chess and just as you take your finger off the piece, you see the mistake you've made, and there's this panic because you don't know yet the scale of disaster you've left yourself open to. This literally describes what I am doing right now. That was a quote, by the way, from an author called Kazuo Ishiguro. I probably butchered the pronunciation on that name, but that does not matter right now. What matters is that this is a chess game and I am running out of plays to make. But I will not let this end in a stalemate. No, I will be battling these noobs until the end of time, or at least battling them by building better stuff, like this cool boat thing here. This is pretty fly if you ask me, so I am definitely going to win this, of course. I mean, look at this right here. This is just art. All of these things right here, well, this is all just pure art right now. So I am pretty sure that I have already won this right now. But let's just continue before they finish their little thing before I finish mine, and we cannot have that. I have decided to go out and make my farm the same way. I am just going to be building a thing that is not like any other thing, but it will be better than his. I mean, look at what he has, man. That is not good at all. I am easily going to be winning, just so that I can make sure that I do not end up getting my butt kicked by this little robot right here. Now this basically is a little friendly wager between me and Chip, because Chip is basically always like, well, Sub, you cannot build this, and you cannot build that. So I am going to prove to him that I actually can do this. And even though making a house inside of a ship will be tough, I think that I will manage. And you guys want to know why I can manage this, right? Well, because I am freaking Sub-Zero Exabyte and I can do whatever I freaking want. Because that is just who I am. And not even a boathouse is able to keep me at bay. That was a god-awful boating pun. You are welcome for that one. But I mean, if he challenges me to a build-off, then well, I am not going to be declining that. I am pretty sure that I can kick this guy his butt, no questions asked at all. Now I really like this build-off challenges. Actually, this is like the best idea that I have ever come up with right now. But this boat is nice and all, and I want to make sure that I can farm all the wheat and sugar cane around here so that I can actually make a living on this boat. And it will hopefully fuel me so I can grow big and strong, just like you can. But we have to move on and make sure that we can build the second stage, which as you can see is the house build. And I'm really excited for this one because I am one of the best builders in town. But first things first, I am already proud of the fact that I was able to get the idea from myself, which I had applied to basically everything right now. So that was a pretty awesome thing, to be honest. So I basically came up with this whole challenge thing after this robot was trying to be better than me in some stuff. So I decided to make this big cruise ship house style stuff and make sure that I can show him once and for all that I am a winner and not a loser. But something is telling me that this will not work out the way that I wanted it to. It is just something that I feel coming up. I mean, that does not mean that this is a bad thing. I mean, I would rather have things go wrong while I am in the beginning stages of building this, because otherwise I would have to start all over again when I am almost done, because that would be a bummer. Now I will start building inside of a freaking ship and stop the talking. Now it may not look like something with high-tech security right now, but once I am done with all of the building and construction, then you will be able to see that no one thief will be able to storm into my house and steal stuff. That is just how good I am at this, and that is just something that I like to do. I like to prove people wrong, and that is just the thing that I am going to be doing around here. Now let me quote you this from a book called Walden, written by Henry David Thoreau, and he says, and I quote, "If you have built castles in the air, your work need not be lost. That is where they should be. Now put the foundations under them." So I feel like I have always been the one that was building castles in the air. Now need it be that I did that around here in Minecraft or Roblox or just in my head, that does not really matter. The essence of this quote is the fact that he says that you need to put the foundations underneath those air castles, and that will make sure that they become a reality. So the foundations are the hard work that one were to put in when doing something like that. Now I will be the one who is going to put the foundations underneath of my castles in the air or underwater in this case. I am just thinking out loud right now, so just bear with me so that we can actually get done with some stuff right here, because otherwise we are still going to be building on this thing for the better part of a year or something like that. But to be honest, that is just an educated guess on my end of the spectrum. But let's continue with what I was saying a minute ago, and I was talking about building a cool house, because this is something that I think is really awesome, because the brick and mortar house is by far my favorite one out of all of the styles that you have got around here today. And we switched that up with this ship, which is not that good now that I start thinking about it. It is actually smart that I think about this kind of stuff right now before I start doing them in the first place. But still, that would be pretty cool. At least that is what I think. I mean, no one is going to expect a thing right now, and that is exactly what I want with this right here. So no one will ever be able to go and start stealing some of my ideas again, which is good, so that I do not have go out and make more stuff over and over and over and over again, like I always have to do. So alright, if I may say so myself, I think that the House of Noobs, aka the Noob House, is coming along pretty nicely. Of course, we are just setting up the walls and stuff right now. But like Donald Trump says, there is nothing better than a wall. Okay, he did not really say that, but just let me have a moment here, okay? But yeah, even though we are still building the walls so that everything is sturdy in here, it is actually looking pretty nice. But alright, also decoration is low-key, just high-key right now, so get going on that as well. Just light this bad boy up with light torches and all that kind of stuff. Just whatever you think will fit into this thing, because ultimately it will become your house and maybe one day even your home. And you know how I feel about building a home rather than a house, because a house is just that, a house. It is 4 walls and a roof. But a home is so much more than that. I mean, it still is 4 walls and a roof. But right now it also is filled with love, like a real home should be filled with. In my opinion, of course. But I digress. I will be needing a decisive victory right here so that I can finally get some rest. Because, well, you might have noticed because of the way that I am acting right now, but I have not slept since the day that my house got blown up. I mean, the time that Haramberin was sleeping in my bed. Well, that does not make it any easier to close your eyes. And I mean, I still shut my eyes, but all I can see is what my house used to be before it got blown up by that guy. But that is in the past. Now, of course, I have got a whole assorted thing about all the times that I encountered something that wanted to kill me really bad, so that is not my main concern here right now. I just want to focus on what is to come, and usually that has a lot to do with other people. I mean, I can get blown up by stuff, but it usually is not totally my fault. Note the totally in that sentence, because sometimes it actually is and I am just being stupid. But with all of that aside, I think that it might actually be time to start actually doing something more than decorating this place. Are you all with me on this one? Now, I really do not like to think about that. I mean, I could go on dwelling about whatever has happened, but I would rather focus on what is coming up. So basically, what is coming up right now for me? Well, that is this guy that just jumped into his new home a couple of minutes ago. Or actually not a couple of minutes ago, but rather in the future. I really should not be telling you all this much about this project, but that is okay. I mean, I cannot just go ahead and treat all of this like I know what I am doing, because I really do not know what I am doing at all. I mean, I am just winging all of this right now because I feel like I otherwise regress, and that is not something that I want to do. I really want to put in the ever-forward mindset, because I feel like moving forward and progressing is the best thing that you can do whenever you feel like you are stagnating and feeling complacent. So I really just want to move on right here and get moving so that I can actually finish this and not end up being a complete disappointment right now right here. So let's just hope for the best now. Okay, well, of course I will have to get out of this, right? So you know this thing will not work, because I cannot just leave my house unlocked like that, otherwise those darn strangers will definitely be showing up again. So I will need to find something new that will work instead of this. So I guess that this will work, right? I mean, there is no way that anyone would be suspicious of just some watery water around this place. I mean, it might look like a dump, but that is the point, right? Who would go looking for me at a dump? So I guess that will work out. Wait, what in the world is that? Is that a freaking camera? What is that guy doing? Oh my god, alright, I have already been spotted while my house is not even finished yet. Well, I guess it is time to move again. So shall we just move on then? So as you can see, the night is already falling and we are nowhere near close right now. I mean, this is just not something that I do on a day-to-day basis, so I might be a little bit slow right now. So just forgive me for that, please, and stick with me until the bitter end, please, you guys. Now, people cannot easily find this ship since I can move it around. Since it is a boat, it can of course do boat stuff like boating around. And as you know, if you do not know where something is, then you cannot get to it, and you cannot take anything out of said thing. Now that kind of worked, but that only solved one problem. And do not get me wrong, it did actually solve the problem with people stealing stuff out of my chest, but it did not solve the problem where people were still coming into my house every other freaking day. So today I am going to be combining these two ideas of mine. One is the hiding part, and 2 is the house part. So since hiding the chests of mine worked out well, I have decided to go out and make my house the same way. I am just going to be building a house that is not like any other house, just so that I can make sure that I do not end up getting swatted and stuff like that ever again. Not that I have ever been swatted, but that was just metaphorically. Now we cannot just hide a house. We have to make this some kind of way where it is just going to be camouflaged really well within the environment. So we will have to make it blend in well. And what better way to do this than to just build the house inside of a lake, right? That is like the best idea that I have ever come up with right now. But first things first, I am already proud of the fact that I was able to get the idea from myself, which I had applied to the chest/stealing problem. So that was a pretty awesome thing, to be honest. But I was able to apply that same idea that I used on the chest problem, and I am going to be putting it to work with the housing problem that I have got right now. But I am just hoping that once I am done with all of this right here, that I can just live here in peace again. But something is telling me that this will not work out the way that I wanted it to. It is just something that I feel coming up. I mean, that does not mean that this is a bad thing, but let's just hope that the boathouse I just built is actually going to be a success, because otherwise I will actually have to turn to my last resort, which would be the underwater base. And I really do not want to turn to my last resort so quickly, because I just feel like there is too much counting on that. So let me just get everything straight right here, and if that is all okay, then I think that we are all done for today and we can actually go on and start doing some actual decorating and stuff. But I will not be bothering you guys all too much with that stuff, because I know that going to IKEA and stuff can be rather boring to show on video. But I guess that this is where I am going to end the video. I will see you guys in the next video. See you later, you guys.